It's fine that time. We're going to take on a ranked normal boss while going for a top 3 badge. And this is the perfect week for it, because the normal boss is ranked on least cash, which is one of my strongest modes, with the top 3 scores being around 210,000, so we're going to aim for sub 210k. Now the rules for Vortex this week are actually a little bit interesting. The map is Sulphur Springs, and they have banned all the military towers, which means I'll need to find the cheapest way to defend this boss using only primary, magic, and support categories. Let's hop right into it. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sulphur Springs least cash. We're going to start with our free dart monkey right here. And then what I'm also going to do is start with my hero, which is Sada. Now, if you guys have seen some YouTube videos on other people's strategies for this boss event, you might be surprised to see Sada, because most other people are bringing Silas. So why am I bringing Sada? Well, first of all, Sada is about $200 cheaper than Silas. And yes, guys, $200 actually matters, because when you're going for top normal placements, the differences in scores are so small that every little bit matters. But also, I think Sada does have some advantages with having some disadvantages over Silas as well. So you'll see that in today's video. But now I can kind of get into our strategy. What am I going to use to pop the normal boss when all of the military towers are banned? Because normally the best strategies for least cash normal bosses do involve a military tower, like buffing an MAD or a flying fortress, something like that. So here's what my strategy is going to be. We are going to build a Megalodon, which I know it is kind of expensive. You have to get the 4 orcas down, then you have to get the Megalodon upgrade, and we're gonna have to buff the Megalodon a little bit on top of that. But based on all of the options we have, that's going to be the best thing. None of the primary towers are really strong enough to defend the boss. Same thing with magic towers. I mean, maybe you could defend the boss with Legend of the Night, but Legend of the Night is more expensive than Megalodon to begin with. And then as for the support towers, none of them are really strong enough either besides the Megalodon. I tested the super mines, that doesn't work. Okay, so if I'm gonna use Megalodon, you're probably wondering, where is my farms? Because I definitely need to farm a little bit at least to afford the defenses I'll need. And the answer to that is I'm actually waiting to afford a discount village before I place any farms down. I think we'll have the discount village right in this location, because that's literally how hardcore I'm going to be with the money savings today. We are going to get every single thing I place discounted besides Sada at the start of the game. And I'm thinking maybe this round I can afford my banana farm. Well, actually, no. Even though the banana farm costs less than 1125, I need 1125 on hand to place it. I've got 1170 on hand. I can get the banana farm down in this location, and I save some money on the upgrade. Okay, round 15 banana farm. Very late, but I think we can make it work, guys. Let's keep using Sada's leaping sword ability. And actually, wait, we're gonna redo this round because I can't technically afford that farm upgrade mid-round. Never mind, I was wrong. I can buy increased production mid-round, but I can't get any extra bananas from it that round, so didn't really make any difference. And guys, believe it or not, this is all the farms I'm gonna go for. Just 1 times 100 farm underneath the discount, which I know sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I have done an insane amount of testing for this boss event. I mean, you have to do a lot of testing if you want to get a top score. And I'm pretty sure this isn't enough farming to complete my plan of defense. And I'm going to take you guys through that journey as we go. Okay, so what's next? Surely I want to get some beast handlers down now underneath my discount village. That's true. But guys, before I place down a singular beast, I am going to get 2 more discount villages, as the plan is to have every single beast handler placed underneath 3 discounts. We want to save the maximum amount of cash here. So here we go. Let's get discount village number 2, and I'll get discount village number 3 right about here. Now, one of these villages I'm going to want to have jungle drums on, so we have to get range on one village. And this village is going to be the most effective one to buy range on because it's the one that's farthest away from the water, and I need to place my beasts close to the water to build them into the top path. So range on you, and now underneath triple discount we can start to place some beast handlers. I think for now I'm just gonna place 2 beasts. One is right here, and then the other one is gonna be pretty much as far right as possible inside of this little platform. And this beast serves a big purpose. Basically, I'm going to be merging all the beasts later, which increases the range of where I can move my Megalodon. And since this guy's range covers half of the pool in the middle, that means my Megalodon will be able to teleport into the middle pool, which is important. Now, speaking of the Megalodon, I do need to get another beast which will be built into Meg. I think that'll be just in this location, and I'll make it into a Barracuda for now. Then with that, I can merge these other 2 beasts, and you can see what I'm talking about already. We can have the Barracuda inside of the middle pool. Okay, it's time to purchase something else. I'm going to get an engineer right about here, also underneath triple discount, and build you into a cleansing foam. Later, this guy will be an overclock, which will buff my Megalodon, so That's pretty important. But as for now, we can use this to pop lead balloons and decamo balloons. On top of the cleansing foam, I'm also going to upgrade this guy into a great white, and I'm going to upgrade the merged beasts into great whites as well. I'm planning on having a max power great white to defend the tier 1 boss. That should be enough alongside of Sada, because Sada's abilities can actually do a decent amount of damage against the boss too. Now the one last thing I want to purchase before the tier 1 boss is a jungle drums on this village. As my jungle drums is double discount, so it's not very expensive first of all. And also it's very important just to buff my beast handler. Alright, here we go. It's time for the tier 1 boss. Let's start this thing. And make sure to use the Sada abilities whenever I get it available, because that deals, I think, over 100 damage against the boss, so it'll add up quite a bit. It also doesn't have a very long cooldown. We have the Great White on strong targeting as well. And the next thing I'm going to save up for is that overclock I was talking about. As basically, you want to get the overclock as soon as possible, because the overclock can actually help my farming too, since I can just overclock this low tier farm and make a little bit of extra cash per round. Hopefully the top beast doesn't get stunned, because if these other beasts get stunned, it doesn't really impact my defense. It only impacts it if the beast you merged into gets stunned, and it looks like it didn't. And my farm didn't get stunned either, which is good. We want our farm to be producing the entire time, ideally. You might be wondering why it even matters for me to like move the beast inside of this little pond if it can still reach the boss if it was like farther away. And the reason it matters a little bit is because the closer your beast is to the boss, it helps mitigate the time between thrashes. You want the beast to be thrashing the boss like the majority of the time, obviously. So the travel time becomes less, if that makes sense. I feel like we got enough damage, but it's gonna be pretty close. One more leaping sword. Hopefully Sada doesn't get stunned here. Oh, Sada's gonna get... No, it didn't get stunned. How did that not get stunned? Wow. The stun radius on the tier 1 boss has to just be much less than the other boss tiers, I'd imagine. Come on, let's get overclock. There we go. Nice. And since Sada did not get stunned, we're gonna have Sada help me out a lot on damage here. It's also overclock the farm. I have that available now. I don't think I need to overclock any of my defenses to deal with this last 2000 HP, I'm hoping. And also we can get a little bit more damage on the back end as well, once the boss comes back around the sloop. Let's use another leaping sword, and let's move the beast into this location. That can probably reach the boss a little bit. On strong targeting. Yep. Yeah, we'll be completely fine. 500 HP remaining. Let's go. That's a clean tier 1, ladies and gentlemen. Keep overclocking the farm. That right there is exactly what I like to see. All right, so next up, we're going to work towards buying an Orca. That's the plan for a tier 2 defense, just a pretty solid buffed one. Now, in that time between affording that Orca, I don't think there's really going to be much going on. Basically, just overclocking my farm and trying to squeeze as much cash per round out. One thing I can actually do, wait a second, is hopefully regrow farm these balloons a little bit, because you can technically make a bit of extra income from rainbows if you let them regrow. Wait, oh, my cleansing foam though. I'm gonna target the cleansing foam away for just one round. But yeah, this is a tactic I've showcased in some of my previous videos. It's not really gonna be used to great effectiveness here, but you can make a little bit of extra cash from regrow balloons by popping them down a bit. Okay, bring you here. Now, yes. I don't know if I made any extra in this case, but maybe I did. There's a possibility. Okay, we've made it to tier 2. I've got $30,000 basically on hand, so that's enough to buy an Orca and buy some Orcas to merge it. We'll get one more. On top of that, I'm gonna get a great weight on you and just merge that as well. And this isn't really unnecessary spending, because if you think about it, I'll need 4 Orcas anyways to afford the Megalodon. So that's basically the plan with these 4 beasts. Okay. And we want to make sure our Orcas started at the very top of the map. And I'm guessing for this tier, I can't really overclock my farm consistently. I'll just have to overclock my beast handler to get some extra damage. So we'll just see. Let's go. Overclock now. 62.8k. How much do we do per thrash? It's like 1,000 damage maybe per thrash. It's not actually as much as I would have thought. I mean, to be fair, our beast handler is not a very high degree yet either. It's only degree 48. I could technically get it a higher degree by merging some lower tier beasts. The disadvantage with that play though is it would make it much harder to afford my Megalodon, because I'd be investing into stuff that's not Orcas, and I'd still need to get the 2 Orcas up, if that makes sense. So I don't know. We'll just see how this ends up playing out. Make sure to use Sada's abilities as well. We can use Sada's sword charge to deal a little bit of extra damage too. Okay, we're about to hit this first goal here. I'm hoping Sada does not get stunned, but she might actually get stunned based on where the boss is. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, she did get stunned. That means I'm not going to be able to use Sada abilities for a bit. Wait, is my overclock missing the decamo? It didn't decamo that. Okay, we're good. I was gonna say, some of the balloons aren't getting decamoed on the initial run through, which is a little bit weird. So I'll just back though. Round 63, we should be fighting against the ceramics as long as the Orca is thrashing when the ceramics pass the boss. The thrashing damage is more than enough to deal with the ceramics. Wave 2. Yep, we defended all of them. Wait, actually, first targeting. Leaping sword, we're good. Okay, do I have enough damage here? Wave 3 ceramics got defended as well. I feel like I don't have enough damage. Our damage is gonna ramp up significantly here soon though, because we'll get another Orca in, so we'll have 8 more beast power. What got stunned? Okay, nothing important got stunned. We still have the farm, overclock, and Orca going at it. That's good. Move you down. Yes. Let's use a sword charge soon. Now. Gives me some more cash. There we go. Orca's been bought. Okay. We're at 56 out of 64 power. Come on. Target you down here. Let's overclock the beast again. I don't think we've got it. There's no way we're going to deal enough damage on this back end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to redo this tier and get some extra merges in. I can't just solely rely on Orca merges to give me enough damage. And we're pretty close. I mean, like, look at this. We're going to be like 5,000 off, I think. That is pretty dang close. Okay, maybe not 5,000 off, like 8,000 off, but still. Let's try again. Actually merged one other thing, but it's just a tier 1 beast handler, so it's barely any extra money spent. And I'm hoping, though, with that difference, Sada does not get stunned here. She shouldn't. Yeah, you can already tell just one small extra degree on the beast handler does make a difference of how much damage we're dealing by quite a big margin. Alright, let's see if this is enough damage now. Hopefully. It does over 1,000 damage per thrash, so I only need a couple more thrashes. Bring you to here. Okay. 3k HP remaining. I have a sword charge available. I think I'll use that now. 1.3k. Come on. Oh my gosh. It's so close. Leaping sword? We're good, we're good. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 2 has finally been defended. Now we go back to overclocking the farm and just try to make as much money before the tier 3 defend. The tier 3 defend is when I'm hoping to afford Megalodon. And one of the ways I can still squeeze out a little bit of extra cash is by regrow farming once again. So I'm gonna try that on round 72 against these ceramics. Let's use a leaping sword now, and hopefully that pops some of the ceramics down, yep, and then we can regrow them and bring you back into the equation now. Okay, I don't know if I made any extra money there, I'm hoping. We can use a sword charge as well in a second. Now, I might have made a tiny bit of extra cash from that play. If I'm feeling generous in the editing, I'll edit in how much extra cash I made, because I can do the math. By the way, we can now afford the 4th Orca, so it doesn't really matter where I build it, I'll just have it right here. But now we're 4 out of 4, so it's time to save for the Megalodon. Okay, let's see if we can regrow farm round 76 at all. This would be a big round if I can do it. Start the round off. Use you. I'm going to use that at a different timing. 1 second. I want to use it a little bit earlier so the balloons can pass over the leap sword twice. Now? Yeah, like right there. See what I'm talking about? Okay, wait for the balloons to regrow, and then we're going to use the sword charge at the end. Last possible second. Now? Okay. I feel like I definitely regrow farmed some cash that round. I would like to believe so. Okay, and the last round that I might be able to make some extra cash from regrow farming is round 79, so I am going to try to attempt to do that. I don't have my leaping sword ability available yet. That's really what I can use to start the regrow farm. Let's use it. Okay, let's do it now. Ability. Perfect. Let the balloons travel like this. And then I'm going to use a sword charge now. Okay, that was good. And I guess we bring Orca back into the picture now. I wonder if I can... clean up the regrow farm with my Orca. That's my thoughts. Let's try this again. Because I don't have sword charge back available yet, but we can start another regrow farm. Like that. And then bring Orca in here. Probably not as clean as using a sword charge, but it still can help a lot. Yeah, look at that. That's good. Not bad in the slightest. We take those. Okay, and we've made 9.4k from our farm so far, which is actually pretty good. Now it's time for the tier 3 defend though, which is going to be the hardest yet. Basically, my plan is I want to ant-test all the rounds as much as possible with the Orca, so I'm going to keep you on last targeting, and then afford this Megalodon fast, and then after I get the Megalodon down, get some more beast handlers under triple discount, and merge them for more degrees. I need to do all of that inside of a singular tier, so it's going to be difficult. Let's get it though. I think I can probably overclock the farm. I don't know if I should be overclocking the farm or the Orca this tier, because Orca's not really going to be dealing much damage against the boss anyways, so I was thinking maybe the overclock on the farm is more effective. It's not like I'm going to hit a skull, for example, before I get my Megalodon up, if that makes sense. Round 80. Should get defended here. We can use the Leaping Sword as well, because why not? And I can also technically sell this farm once I have enough money for the Megalodon. So it sells for, what, 1,000? I need 44,000 on hand, give or take. Okay. It's looking like 82 is not bad either. We're actually really close to affording already. Wait a second. I have more cash than I thought I would. I honestly, as funny as this might sound, I may have overfarmed. Might have been able to do this with just a 0-0-0 farm. Let's sell the farm now. One more grab and I think I have enough cash. Overclock? Yes. And now I can start getting more merges in here. I placed down some more beast handlers that I can merge. Okay, there we go. First skull. That's good. That was a quick first skull. There we go. Keep upgrading these. Let's use a sword charge before I die. Or before I get stunned. Not die. The boss has traveled a little bit farther, that's fine. Great white there. Let's overclock you. We're alive. Bring you here. Okay, let's upgrade all of these to great whites now. The ones that are merged. 2 skulls remaining. We got this. Strong targeting. 1465 is the amount for the next great white. Let's bring you here. Get another great white in. Don't... Oh, I'm dead there. Okay, I backed out in time. That's good. Let's do this then. Grab 1 ZOMG early. So I don't have to deal with that later. That'll give me a little bit more money to afford my great whites faster as well. There we go. Hit the skull. That's good. Round 86. Surely we've got enough damage here. Yeah, look at how fast we're thrashing this. The overclocked Megalodon is just insane. Let's go. Tier 3 has been defeated. I honestly think it might be possible with an unupgraded farm. I don't know if I want to go back in time though, just to save like $415 on that upgrade. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. We'll see. Either way, we've got 8 fully discounted beast handlers so far, and we can actually get more. What I'm going to do now is start overclocking my villages, because overclock does increase the village range. And that should allow me to get a couple more beast handlers under triple discount is my thought. Yeah, we can get one right here. There we go, another great white. And I'm at 124 power, okay. So you're probably thinking, just get one more great white, and then you're solid, Ryan. That's 132 out of 132. The thing is, we don't actually need 132 power, though. You can do this with only 130 power. As I was talking to my friend Lauren Zhao, he helped me a lot with the strategy. And basically, the way the power works is 130 out of 132 is only about a 1% drop in damage, believe it or not. It sounds crazy, that's only 1% drop in damage. However, if you go below 130 to power, then there's a huge drop off in damage. So 132 is pretty much the minimum degree we need. And to get 130 on the degrees, I will need 2 more Barracudas under triple discount. I'm hoping I can fit 2 more beast handlers under 3 discounts, but I might not be able to. Come on, let's overclock you. We can overclock 2 villages at once. Yep, there we go. Let's see if I can fit 2 more under triple discount. One right here. Oh, this one's so close. There it is, we got it. Every single beast handler triple discounted, ladies and gentlemen, 11 of them. My overclock's also triple discounted. I had a farm underneath discount as well. Like, the amount of savings in this run is just nuts. But now I'll upgrade these guys. Barracuda on you, merge. That's 127. And then last Barracuda, merge. There's 130. The degree we're looking for. Now, as you can see here, I've still only spent 141.7k, where if we go back and look at the top scores, the best score is 209.97k. So what's the last thing I'm gonna add to my setup? It is a homeland defense right about here. So we'll get Radar Scanner, Monkey Toad Bureau. Now I'm at 149.4k. And if we spend 60k more on the Coal to Arms and the homeland defense, my score would be 209.4k, which means we'd be in the lead by about $500. But then on top of that, if I do the farm upgrade cut that I was talking about beforehand, that would optimize my score by another $400 or so, which would put me under 209k. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna finish this run first, pretty much. And then if I'm feeling like wasting another couple hours, then I'll see if I can cut that farm upgrade. Thankfully, the tier 4 boss defense should be really easy. I don't think it's gonna give me any complications with my current setup, because we basically have the same thing we're going to use for the tier 5 defense minus the home defense, and the boss has like a fourth of the HP on tier 4 than does on tier 5. Let's see though. Here we go. We also just hit max level Sada, which is pretty cool. Overclock you, And let's go. 628,000 HP. Use Cold Arms ability. And dude, look at that damage. We are just gonna pretty much insta-kill this boss. Well, not insta-kill, but we're gonna keep the boss basically at the start. What I can also do is utilize last targeting. Well, not really. I was gonna say, sometimes you can utilize last targeting to grab blimps when the boss is shielded from the skulls and still deal damage against the boss even during the immunity phases. Which you'll see that in action a lot during the tier 5 defense, because we basically need to utilize that during tier 5 to be able to pop the boss. There's the second skull. Not bad. Oh yeah, look at that. We just grabbed a bunch of stuff while it was immune, and we did like half of the skull damage. That was kind of crazy how that ended up playing out. Another skull has been hit. Can I do it again? Last targeting. You can see I kind of did some damage, but it wasn't that much that time. Tier 3 boss has been defended, ladies and gentlemen. Let's freaking get it. And I can now buy the home and defense, putting our final score at 209.4k if everything goes according to plan. And there's nothing else I can really do before the tier 5 defense, so I guess I'll just see you guys then. I'm not going to really have any issues defending the regular rounds. I guess that leads me to mention one thing I forgot to talk about though. I re-enabled a monkey knowledge for this boss event, the big Bloon sabotage, where mob class balloons come in already damaged. Normally you don't want that enabled for boss events because it makes it harder to get Paragon pops, but in this case where I'm not getting a Paragon, it actually makes it easier for me because I just will have less trouble with the regular blimps while I'm defending the boss. So yeah. Okay, now time for tier 5. This is probably going to take me multiple attempts, especially because I'm going to need to manipulate the stun timings of Vortex so it doesn't stun my Homeland defense or Overclock. But let's see how we do. Overclock, Homeland defense. Leaping Sword now. Yes. And this should be able to deal some significant damage. I can probably also utilize last targeting a little bit to pull stuff in. I don't know if that's worth or not. I think sometimes it's worth, technically. Sword charge, yep. That's the disadvantage of Sada. Silas would be able to defend those ceramics really easily. Sada, I have to be careful and use abilities a lot more often. I'm going to try using Overclock and Homeland Defense again, but I think I'm going to get stunned by using these abilities early. I most likely have to delay my second Overclock and Homeland Defense so I don't get stunned over here. Wait, did I get stunned? Oh, the Homeland Defense got stunned, but the Overclock didn't, so that means we're close to being out of range. I'm going to try again. See if I can somehow squeeze a little bit more damage out, maybe utilizing last targeting more. Okay, I've done a couple more tests. I simply can't avoid the Homeland defense getting stunned if I use the abilities like when they come off cooldown. So what I'm going to need to do is wait on the second Homeland defense usage. We'll do it now. What I can also do this skull is pull these ZMGs back into the boss. Yeah, while the shield's going, I can damage the boss a ton like that. See what I'm talking about? Yeah, we already got a decent amount of the second skull done with. That's good. Homeland defense and Overclock did not get stunned there, which is important. You want a Homeland defense between the Thrash, by the way. If you use the Homeland defense ability mid-Thrash, it doesn't benefit the current Thrash at all. Let's see if I can get some damage while the boss is shielded once again. I'm gonna try. First targeting. Last, maybe? First. Okay, we got a little bit of damage. Not that much while the boss was shielded, though. Not as much as my first time through, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully my Overclock and stuff doesn't get stunned here. It shouldn't. This is starting to get scary, though. Sada's definitely gonna get stunned here. I don't know if I have enough damage either. With how this is looking. Alright, Homeland defense again. There we go. Last targeting. Pull these things in. Deal some damage against the boss in the meantime as well. Yes, that's good. Those were some good grabs. Okay, I like that. And Sada should get unstunned, hopefully sometime soonish. We have Sada unstunned as well, it's good. Let's get Homeland defense back, please. And we'll use it now. Okay, do I have enough damage? That's the question. 287k HP. I don't think I have enough. I'm gonna have to redo. I'm gonna be like 100,000 off. Oh, that's so frustrating. Yeah. A little bit more than 100k. Well, actually, wait, we're sniping because of the DTs. No, I'm still like 87,000 off. Okay, that's definitely possible. That's pretty close. Okay, I'm slightly ahead on the damage of where it was last time. Let's see if we can do this. Less than 300k HP remaining. Can't reach yet, but should be able to reach soon. Yeah, there we go. Now I can reach. I've got Sada back unstunned. That's good. I got my abilities back now. Come on, Homeland. Yes, 200k remaining. Bring you here. 150k. Come on. One more Thrash is all I need. One more Thrash. I think I did. Let's go. Let's freaking go, dude. Oh my gosh. Okay. As long as I defend these ETs, which actually is harder said than done. Or easier said than done, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Ooh, that feels good. 209.4k. Even though I think it's possible to cut that farm upgrade, I really don't want to go back to do it all. I don't. So I'm just gonna let this score sit and hope that stays top 1. I mean, and even if it doesn't stay top 1, the goal was to get a top 3 badge in the normal boss. So I'd imagine there's no way in the last 10 hours 3 other people are gonna pass my score. And guys, that really was the plan, but then later into the event, I checked the leaderboard once again, and this happened. Someone topped my score by $25. And I found that to be a little bit disrespectful, so I got back into the lab. With this time around trying to save even more cash by using a unupgraded farm that I also waited to place underneath triple discount. Now you might be seeing this and wondering, Ryan, that's cool. You have less farm upgrades, you're gonna save some money there. But how are you gonna afford your Megalodon with that hidden income? So here's how I'm gonna afford it. More optimized regrow farming. In my last run, I did do a little bit of regrow farming and made extra income from it, but it wasn't super efficient, and through some testing, I found more reliable ways to pull it off. So I'll take you through the 2 biggest rounds you can regrow farm extra cash, around 76 and 79. And the way I regrow farmed 76 better this time is I used my Leaping Sword ability 1 round before, at the very end of 75. That way the sword on the map stays present when all of the ceramics come out, and it would damage them down a lot of layers. Then the Bloons regrow farm, and the last possible second, I used that sword charge to clean up. And that tactic allowed me to get an extra $3,275 from this round, which is an additional 1k more than I made last time. And then for round 79, I was actually able to start this with Leaping Sword available from the get-go. Last time I did not have that, so we started this round exactly the same, and then sword charging to clean up the first wave of regrowed rainbows. Then bringing my Orca in here to deal with the Bloons while I wait for Leaping Sword to come back off cooldown, using it again once that's available, and having the Orca clean up the second wave of regrowed rainbows. But here's the advantage. I was actually able to get a third Leaping Sword off towards the tail end of this round and clean that up with a sword charge, resulting in me making an extra $3,000 from that round, which is about 1,000 more from regrow balloons than I made last time on round 79. And here's the really funny part. With those optimizations to regrow farming, look at my cash after round 79 ends. $28,382. If you go back in time and compare that to my previous attempt, I actually have more money, even though I skipped out on the increased production farm upgrade. That's the difference regrow farming can make. And for anyone curious on the science behind why balloons work this way, this person made a detailed YouTube video about it and it will be linked in the description down below. Either way, the rest of this run is basically the exact same, just getting the Megalodon on tier 3, getting the home and defense, and defending the tier 5 boss. And with those optimizations, I saved over $500 from my score, meaning this one is $208,870 spent. But when the run was finished and it was time to check the leaderboard, disaster struck. We have all been gapped by none other than Jandolpheus, also known as Lazy Lizard, a very prominent boss player as you can see by their badges. And you might be wondering, how did he beat me by $8,000? I basically fully optimized my discounts as much as I could, which is true, I did fully optimize it, but Lazy Lizard used a different defensive strategy. Instead of homeland defense, he used 2 Call to Arms villages, which I did test beforehand and I didn't think it was possible, but Lazy Lizard added a Deadeye to his setup to increase the Megalodon's range a little bit and had much more optimized targeting. So big congratulations to him. Either way, I'm still very happy with getting my first ever good badge inside of a normal boss, that being a top 2 badge, which means if you take a peek at my stats now, I have 1 elite top 1 badge, 1 elite top 2, 2 elite top 3s, and then 1 regular second place. The profile is starting to come along nicely, and I hope all of you guys enjoyed today's sweaty boss event. If you did, please go to the BTD6 item shop and put in creator support code MAHALIKPOPS. Thank you all for watching.